How ready are you to live the laptop lifestyle? Today, I'm going to ask you a series of questions to help you find out. So let's get started. Okay, so last week I shared a video where I went over the terms and definitions of laptop lifestyle, location independence, digital nomad, all the things. So this week I'm going to see or help you see if you're actually ready to start living this type of lifestyle. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. Also know that there is a link to a quiz down in the description below. So if you want to get your actual results, be sure to take that quiz and see if you are ready. So question number 1, really plain and simple, but how ready are you to make a lifestyle change? So you're either super ready, let's go, let's do it. Maybe you're ready, but you're not really sure what that looks like. That's totally fine. You're just like out exploring your options. And then maybe you're like not really ready at all. It scares you. It doesn't sound interesting. That's actually probably your first clue that this is not for you. Okay, question number 2. Do you work online already? Do you already have an online job? So I didn't when I started, and I created my own online income so that I could actually travel and have more flexibility. Maybe you already do that. Maybe you don't, but you want to, and that's totally fine. Just know that you don't have to have specific skills to be able to work online. There are a lot of people with a wide variety of things that have online jobs or remote jobs, and that is perfectly fine. So if you're not there yet, don't worry, you can totally get there. But if you already do, great, you're on the right track. Now, the next question to ask yourself is, how do you feel about working virtually? Like, how do you feel about not going into an office every day, having interactions with real people, and mostly interacting on Zoom? You might have some meetings in real life here or there, but for the most part, you are working online, virtually. Your team is virtual, you are virtual, your clients are virtual. You're gonna have to find different ways to have a outside social life and social interaction with people. So ask yourself, how do you feel about that? And be honest with yourself with all these questions. Okay, next question. How do you rate your self-motivation? Do you need someone standing over your shoulder and telling you what to do all the time? Or are you pretty good being self-motivated, figuring out what needs to happen next, doing it, feeling comfortable with that? Living a laptop lifestyle, I already mentioned you are virtual a lot. You might even be traveling by yourself. You might be a solo traveler like me. And so it does require a lot of self-motivation to continue to explore new places, stay on top of all your deadlines while you're also managing this whole online life that's very different from a structured office life. So how are you with self-motivation? Is it something that you feel like you could step into and it would be fine? It's just going to be a learning curve for everyone. That's totally fine, but you feel comfortable doing it. Or is it something where you kind of like the structure, you kind of like having a boss, you kind of like people telling you what needs to get done, and you're able to do it that way? There are no right or wrong answers to any of this. It's all just personal preference. So let's keep going. Now, working online, working virtually does require some level of comfortability with technology. So how do you feel about working with tech? Do you get online and check your email and that's about it? Or are you kind of like a computer wizard? That's cool. I'm not. I would say I'm probably somewhere in between. I feel comfortable with it. I feel like I can figure things out, but there is definitely a lot that is like over my head, and honestly, it's fine. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough to be able to do your job. That's totally fine. Next, think about your motivation, right? So if this is a true lifestyle change for you, if you're not already working remotely or working remotely and traveling, what is your motivation? What's going to keep you going? Is it the idea of being able to actually travel and work from anywhere in the world? Today, I'm sitting in a park. It's beautiful. It's nice outside. And I decided to get out of the house and do it here. Or is your motivation just to have the flexibility just to do other things that you love to do? Maybe you want to volunteer more. Maybe you want to spend more time with your family or working on your hobbies. And so you just feel like working online, working remotely or virtually will give you that flexibility. What is your motivation? Because that's going to keep you going when it gets kind of tough, because there are tough times, just like any other lifestyle. And lastly, think about your ability to adapt to new environments. Do you get overwhelmed? Do you get anxious? Do you love meeting new people and thrive on it? Maybe you're somewhere in between, kind of like me. It's okay. It's okay if you're not at one extreme or the other, if you're kind of down the middle. Sometimes I'm a total extrovert. I love staying in hostels. I love meeting new people. And sometimes I'm a total introvert and I don't want to meet anybody or talk to anybody. I just want to go walk in a park by myself or do whatever. But I can adapt. I can learn new transportation systems. I can figure out how to get around a city, even if I don't speak the language. That's kind of my travel life. As far as my online work life, I'm able to adapt to new systems and new technology and maybe new workflows that I've never done before. So think about your ability to adapt to new environments, whether it's a physical environment or it's a virtual environment, and how that kind of affects you. So that's it. Those are just a handful of questions to really think through if you're considering becoming a digital nomad, living the laptop lifestyle, becoming location independent, whatever it is. Those are some really good questions to ask yourself and to dig a little bit deeper and see and be true and honest with yourself and see if this is something that is for you. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I hope this has been really helpful. Don't forget there is a quiz, an actual quiz down below that will give you true results. So be sure to check that out and I will see you next week.